Why 2022 was such a dark year for all of us. Full and official video. According to the infographic show on YouTube.com and on the app, since the pandemic in 2020, there has been numerous reports of suicides from social distancing. Mainly the impact was from stress, substance abuse, alcohol, and depression-like symptoms. Skipping 2 years ahead, that's not the only bad thing that happened. For instance, it is said that the year of 2022 had a record high of dark movies that were outrageously bizarre, especially for the year in general. Like the adaptation of the book 120 Days of Sodom. The adaptation for the book of 120 Days of Sodom was about the Italian government and how bad they were treating the people. Kind of like one mentioned to me, The Hunger Games is kind of like the book of 120 Days of Sodom, because if you had money, you survived, and if you didn't have money, you were shame out of luck, and you could understand what these Italians were going through. Look at COVID and how it affected the economy. But the point is, like this film and many other films, they were based on true events, and I think that's what scared me and the people greatly, because they were not like most true event movies. One source said that the way people feel about the movie Hellbender is adolescent angst and stirs a boiling cauldron of horror overtone. Another film called The Innocents hits much worse than that, and surprisingly, it ranks as number 2 on Rotten Tomatoes. People say it subverts the purity of youth and lingers after the credit rolls. So what do you think? Do you think that 2022 was a dark year, not just for movies but in general? Some people think it was the most troubling year, that nearly 68% were hopeful and nearly 30% were more fearful. So what does this tell you about 2022? Who knows? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching and listening to G the Writer Audio Network.